Hello everyone. I've been working on Serendipity Glue Books, and I just wanted to come on and show what I've been up to. I've had a major lack of time. Never fails. Life happens when you have other plans, right? I had planned on doing a whole lot of glue booking during this month and haven't really started yet. It's halfway done. Anyway, so I am working on Serendipity books because they don't take very much time. They're really easy. They're really stress-free, and you can do them anyway. There's no wrong way to do a Serendipity book. So this one is one that I did a few years back. I'm not sure exactly what date, but I just put together a bunch of pages and randomly glued glue book fodder all over the pages and then sewed them together into this book. So it's not really pretty, but it's interesting. It was fun to do. It used quite a bit of stuff. I tried to use as many different types of things as possible. So if you're familiar with Serendipity paper, it is basically a piece of paper that you randomly glue scrap bits of paper to. And so I have taken that idea and decided to do a book with Serendipity paper, basically. So there's two ways you can go about doing this. You can cut your pages first and glue all your stuff to the pages and then sew your pages into a book. Or you can create a book like I've done here and have the book all sewn together and then just glue random bits of collage fodder, glue book fodder onto the pages however you want to do it. No rhyme, no reason, just glue stuff down. So this is basically a blank book ready to have a bunch of stuff glued onto the pages. And I like them because they're non-fussy. You don't have to line things up. You don't have to make sure, things fit properly. You just grab stuff that catches your eye and glue it down wherever, overlap stuff and just add stuff until you don't feel like adding any more to the page and then go to another page. You can add stuff to different pages. There's no wrong way to do this. Absolutely no wrong way to do it. It is just fun to randomly do this. So that is an old one, and there is a flip through of that somewhere on a playlist. It's probably on my playlist named Glue Books Show and Tell. And here are some pages that I was doing, and I thought that I would sew those into a book, but I'll do that later at another time. So this one is just a really simple one. It has 7 pieces of paper that I folded in half, and it's a file folder cover. And I'm going to show you how I put this together, how I sewed it together. And I started putting some little bits in. I didn't do one page at a time. I just grabbed a little handful of stuff, put a pile down, grabbed my glue stick, and just started gluing some bits down on different pages. I'm not planning this out. It's serendipity. The definition of serendipity is the occurrence and development of events by chance in a happy or beneficial way. So it's not supposed to be planned. It's not supposed to, it doesn't work that way. So if you just grab some stuff, glue things down randomly, it doesn't matter where you put anything, overlap stuff, you don't have to line things up. It's really stress-free. It's really stress-free, and it goes really fast. So I'm going to show you how to put together a booklet like this. Here's some other examples. Like I said, I put this one together to do the same kind of thing. It's blank at the moment. I just sewed it together. I think I might add some charms or beads to the strings, but I haven't gotten that far yet. So that is another one. And then I did this little tiny one with some scrap pieces of paper that I coffee dyed, sprayed some color on. So it's mostly blank as well. I like the fact that the pages are not perfectly measured, and they're torn in different shapes and things, and they peek out of this cover. This is a piece of watercolor paper that I had done some stuff to, and I found a bunch of little bits like that and thought they would be kind of some cute little covers. So, and I gathered some bits of paper and just folded them so the pages are not the same, and they're not the same color, and they're not the same shape, and they're not fit to the book. And that makes it easier for me just to randomly grab stuff and glue it down and not worry too much about how it looks. It's junk to begin with. It'll be junk when it's finished. I just want something that I can spend some time with and just have some glue therapy and just use a glue stick and glue pieces of paper into a book and not worry about how it's going to turn out or if it's pretty or any of that stuff. I just want to glue stuff down. So that's the purpose of these books. So here's another one that I just finished. It's pretty big. And it is junk journal style. I used this cover, Birds of Kentucky, and grabbed a bunch of junk pieces of paper, some painted papers, and some envelopes, and some underpapers, and paper bags that I'd ripped apart. Again, the pages are not the same size. They're ripped and they're, oddly shaped. I haven't really done anything with this book yet, and I'm looking forward to using it when I get the chance. So I will give you a complete flip through of that in another video. But it's just another form of, it's a serendipity book. I'm just going to grab stuff, things that catch my eye, and just glue stuff in. All right, let me get that out of the way. So I'm going to show you how I put together this little booklet so that you can make your own. I like the fact that it is a very small project, not very many pages. It'll go fast. It'll make me feel like I'm getting something accomplished. The size of this is almost 6 inches by 4.5. So it's very small. The pages are small enough that you can go fast and you feel like you've done something. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do. So I started with a piece of file folder. Didn't do anything special to it. This is going to be my cover, and that piece of file folder with the tab is about 9 inches by almost 6, barely shy of 6 inches, and I will basically just fold that in half. I don't do a hard fold. I just kind of bend it a little bit so I know where the fold is. Okay, and then I have some junk pieces of paper. I have an envelope, piece of brown paper, part of an envelope, some wrapping paper. I have a piece of book text, another piece of paper. I'm not sure where I got that, and another piece of paper. So this is how I measure the pages. Perfect is boring. I want things to peek out. I don't want everything to be the right size, the same size. So I just basically guesstimate, and there's my page. Going on to the next one. This one needs about that much ripped off, and it needs about that much ripped off. So I do it randomly, so no two books are ever the same. This one is a double page spread, so I am just going to rip the top, rip the bottom, and I think I need to rip some of this off too. Just random. So there's the other page. Use this envelope. Let's see. It's a little bit too long, so I'm going to rip off some of that. I should have ripped off a little bit more on that side. There's a window on this side, so I'm just going to rip that bit off and just a little bit more on this side. Okay, there's another page. Here's a piece of brown paper, and you know what? It peeks out. I'm going to leave that just the way it is. And this is the wrapping paper. It's about the right size that way. And I am just going to take that much off. And I'm not comparing them to the other pages so that they're really random when they're done. Okay, so I am actually going to take this gray circle off of this because I like that. I'll use that for fodder. And I am going to rip the top of this like that. So then I have a page, and I am going to rip it off right about there. Oops. Of course, I ripped the page, and I will keep that for glue book fodder. Throw that in the basket. I'll deal with it later. So what have I done to this poor page? Got a rip in it. I might as well just rip that off. So I've got an odd shaped page here. Perfect. All right, so here's my cover. And I think I will use this little tab for the front. And I am going to kind of fold my pages in half so I know where to put them together. That one is folded. Fold that one. Fold that one, and that one's got fold in it already. And then all I need to do is sandwich them together in an interesting way. So I will use that for the top. I will put one of the envelopes in. Let me put it upside down. Put one of the pieces of brown paper in there. How many pieces? I've got 7 pieces of paper. So let me put the other book text. I don't like the way that is straight, so I am just randomly ripping that off. So it's a different size. And put another envelope in. Piece of wrapping paper, and I'll put that on the top. So they're all sandwiched together. just like that. And then I am going to put them in the cover. Now I do kind of close it a little bit and make sure I like the way the pages peek out. I think I want them to peek out just a little bit more. So let me stagger them a little bit so some of them peek out. That one. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, look how messy and interesting that is. Put that up just a tad. Yep, I like that. So I have a couple of paper clips here, and I am going to paper clip the pages and the cover all together just to keep them in place while I work on them. I'm going to put another clip down here. All right. And all I am going to do is use a thumbtack. And I'm not going to measure anything. If it's imperfect, all the better. I think perfect is boring. So I am going to go from the valley to the outside of the book because you kind of bend the pages together, and this will make the thumbtack go through the pages and end up on the spine of the book there. So I am going to estimate the center somewhere, right about there, I suppose, and I'm going to punch a hole all the way through to the center. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. I wiggle it around a little bit. I use thick thread. I use some baker's twine, and so I want that hole to be big enough for my huge needle to get through. And then I am going to do another hole kind of near the top, but not too close to the top. And you might want to do this on a book, or I usually use a phone book because it will put a hole in your desk if you do it straight down on your desk. Let me get through there, popped through. I'm going to wiggle it around and open up that hole just a little bit. And then I'm going to put another hole on the bottom. Same way. If you have an awl, those work better, but not a whole lot of people have them if you don't make a lot of books. So there's my 3 holes and my 3 holes there. All right. I am going to use a really big needle. It does not have to be sharp because you have the holes punched already, and I am using this baker's twine. You want about 2.5 lengths of the height of the book, 3 if you don't really know what you're doing, so you have some extra wiggle room, and thread the needle, which is difficult for me with my old lady eyesight. Okay. So I am going to do the same thing that I did with this one. I'm going to start on the outside, and that way I've got these little strings here that I can add charms or beads to after I finish the book in case I want to. For other books, I kind of start in the center usually, but this time I'm not going to. I want the strings on the outside. So this is a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and there is a video showing how to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So I'm going to start from the outside and go through the hole. I'm going to leave a tail, and I'm going to kind of secure that with the paper clip. Hopefully that will hold it well enough. I'm going to go through the top. It doesn't matter, you can go through the top or the bottom. all the way through. Okay. And then you want to go to the opposite hole, either the bottom or the top, whichever you didn't do before. Go through that one. Okay. And then you're going to go back through the center. Now try not to go through the thread that's already there. Try to have that, I'm going to pull it on the other side to get it out of my way so that the needle's not going through that thread. I'm kind of going beside it, but I'm going through the same hole. Okay, and the reason for that got a tail going on here. The reason for that is so that you can move the threads and tighten up the book. So that's all you need the needle for. I'm going to undo that. So you've got both of your tails on the outside, and you want one tail on one side of this thread that goes from the top to the bottom, and one tail on the other side. Now, my tail is way longer on this side, so I'm going to pull out that tail. All right, so you want to make sure that the threads are fairly tight. Not too tight because you will rip your paper. And you just pull the tails slightly and then kind of check to make sure that they're tight. Okay? And then you want to tie a knot over that string. That secures the book. And I'm just going to leave these strings. Like I said, I might put some beads or charms on there. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I don't want them to be in my way while I am gluing on the pages. So I'm taking off the paper clips, and there is the book, all ready to go, all ready to glue. You don't have to do anything else with it. So you've got these pages that are odd shaped and funky, and they are ready for all kinds of stuff to be glued onto them. And I like the fact that there's some stuff already on the pages, so I don't have to cover the entire page unless I want to. I can if I want to. I can leave some white space on this kind of a book. So, and that is it. That is a Serendipity booklet. It's a small one. Give it a try. Give a small one a try. See if you like the idea. See if you like just gluing randomly into this. Like I said, I started a little bit, but I haven't really glued a whole bunch of things onto the pages yet. I like to start with large bits, and then I go into smaller bits and details and things that I really want to look at. But I like larger bits in my backgrounds. And that is it. That's it. You can use anything to glue on. Of course, I did put some stuff on the cover. And that was it. It's just a random bits of stuff. I didn't do the back cover yet, but I did the front. So that's it. It's really an easy project. Anybody can do this. Like I said, there are no rules. You can do it any way you want to do it. There's no wrong way to do a serendipity book. So serendipity is happy accidents, basically. Happy accidents. So don't plan on where you're putting anything. Just grab a bunch of stuff, something that catches your eye. Here's a tree. Grab your stuff, find some place you want to put it, Don't think about it too much. Don't plan too much. Just start gluing things down, overlap things, put things wherever, and don't worry, don't stress, don't just have fun. This is all about the process. It is not about a finished product. It doesn't matter if it turns out. It's just something to glue, basically. Serendipity paper is just a hodgepodge of stuff. And that's all a serendipity book is. Just a hodgepodge of different things thrown together with no rhyme or reason. I hope you all have a fun time doing this. I'm hoping that I will too. I'm hoping that my schedule will open up and I can actually do some glue booking. So good luck with everything. Thanks for watching.